Remember that with these evidence questions, it's very important that we understand the question itself so that we understand what we're providing evidence for, right? It's not just what's related. We have a specific claim that they want us to provide evidence of. In this case, it's that Michael's team did not directly collect all of the data used in the study. It's a very weird specific thing, so it's what I'm going to use in my head as I'm looking at these answer choices. I'm not just reading to understand everything, I'm looking for this particular idea. So in choice A, they do talk about a study, they do talk about the team, they observed colonies of Seward's terns nesting at several sites along Africa's South Atlantic coast. Well, it sounds like they're collecting data, but it doesn't sound like someone else is collecting the data, or they're not directly getting it, right? They're the ones doing the observing. So this seems like a problem. It doesn't have evidence that there's some indirect collection. Now look at choice B. Over a 5-year period, researchers measured the size of each colony. Again, that sounds like they're collecting the data. They compared their data to government-sponsored erosion studies that were already in progress. So there I could say, well, maybe it's the government's data, right? There's some other data that they're using, but it's not stuff that they themselves collected. It's from some government study that's separate from there. So that sounds like it's related to the question. Let's just make sure with C and D, the team was unable to definitively determine the cause of the decline, but a number of theories seem plausible. Michaels hopes to use those theories as the basis for new studies in the coming years. Well, there's nothing about data collection here. They're now just speculating about what happened with all this data, what it means for them to have collected it. And then in D, Michaels believes that erosion disturbed shellfish populations in the seabed, limiting a vital source of food. Well, they don't know that. There's no data that have that. It's just a theory, but that's the thing, is there's no data at all. Whether it's Michael's team or somebody else's team, this is just speculation as well. So we only really have evidence of data being collected by somebody else in choice B. And so regardless of what else this passage was about, this is the specific thing that they asked for here, so we have to provide it, and that's why it's so important to pay attention to the question. You're going to have a lot of line references, and sorting through them is very difficult, but if you have a clear idea of what you're looking for, they become much easier to understand.